Greetings to the crypto community. We are pseudo-anonymous. We are here to smash that like button. We believe this content needs to reach more people like you. We are watching. We are listening. Most importantly, we are liking and subscribing. We are pseudo-anonymous. Expect us.
When you trade crypto, and never is right. When the market starts to slow, labor hands drop as prices go down. Where's the high market is Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in crypto right now, you are missing out on one of the biggest opportunities in your life. Hit that like button, join and subscribe, and enjoy Road Dog Crypto.
I wait for someone to save. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? We fight back fast, doubling it sooner than this. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? We fight back fast, doubling it sooner than this. Without breaking a mess at you, oh, won't you tell me something new? I wanna tell you something new. I wish you all the best I can, and I stop myself for a while. I'm staying faith, I don't believe the panic's rising up in you. Oh, won't you tell me something new? Don't you think you wanna be for the best? We fight back fast, doubling it sooner than this. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? We fight back fast, doubling it sooner than this. Don't you wish I would've been someone else? I wanna feel your gap without making a mess at you. Oh, won't you tell me something new? I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? We fight back fast, doubling it sooner than this. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? We fight back fast, doubling it sooner than this. Don't you wish I would've been someone else? I wanna feel your gap without making a mess at you. Oh, won't you tell me something new? Wish you all the best I can, then I stop myself for a while.
Chase your tail light. I'll be under your skin, letting you go for a while.
Damn, feeling lucky. How about most streets? Us two in these streets. Diamonds on my feet. Caught up in these talks. Circling my head top. Should've been more cautious. Now I got what I wanted.
Gotta get that daily dose of cowbell or things just don't go right. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You understand where I'm coming from? I got you, dog. I believe in the thing I love. Let's rock it.
For those of you out there that hit my like button, I should say thank you very much.
Bienvenidos a la programa. Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto with Road Dogg. Watching Bitcoin, try to figure out what it wants to do with this life, and wondering why they parked us here on the weekend. And let's get these price tags out of the way so we can see what we're talking about here. Dipping down to this area here, 59.9, and bouncing off of that guy so far. I was hoping, still got my fingers crossed. This is a high, possible higher low that we got going on right here. The reason that I'm so curious about it and interested about it is because it's at a very cool fib area that we bounce off of here. We can get a strong move. The only bad part is that we're still under the 200 moving average, and this is where we broke out of the trend line, and we're set up for also not only a possible good strong move, which it could be, we're still set up to come up here and get rejected at these areas, maybe a double top and then come down lower. So that's still on the table, still on the menu, if you will. Don't know if Bitcoin's going to choose that entree or not. I hope you don't. Hope you choke on it if you do. No hard feelings. Still love you. So that's kind of what we got going on with the Bitcoin here. Now this weekend, I don't know what to expect. I kind of expect it will probably go sideways as much as it can. We're on the daily time frame here. Overall, it looks kind of interesting for the daily, for Bitcoin even. Here on the weekend, money flow is increasing on the daily. Stochastics have come down, bounced, and went up. That's what we want to see because they can go all the way up here and then get locked in there, and price can still go up or sometimes down while they're still there. It's crazy how that thing works. Once they get to one edge or the other, man, it's just like you just got to leave them alone for a while. They've outused their effectiveness. They're about effective about right where they're doing right now when they're starting to first go up. Mostly. There's a few other good points, but hey. They're a quicker moving. This guy, like you got your RSI, it's a little slower to tell you about that momentum. But the stochastics RSI, what we're looking at here on Market Cipher, I've got it, they're just kind of bunched in together. You can get it separately. Looks a lot different than this. Well, kind of. But it's kind of like the quicker acting momentum. It's kind of like when you in the Tesla and you just tap that gas and you go pow. Yeah, that's kind of how you need to think of the stochastics. It's kind of like it's got that torque, baby. It's got that torque to kind of give you that push. It's got the nitrous in it, kind of, in a way. But the RSI is the one that's really, that's the big gauge you gotta kind of watch out for. That's the one that's going to give you the real sense of momentum, in my personal opinion. Stochastics RSI just tell you when we're going to step on the gas a little. Right now, woo, baby. We were here and then we lost it, but now we got this guy, and now we got a channel on the RSI. However, that might possibly line up, even if it needs it. We don't need to care about it. We just need to see this little sucker come up. A little resistance up here around 60%. We're currently at 50%, meaning we can get a nice little 10% jump in the RSI. I mean, we can get a nice little price come up here. It's about the 200 moving average, and 63,000, 7-ish, 5-ish, somewhere through there-ish. My concern, as it has been for quite a while, is that the price not only is price under the 200 moving average, but all these other moving averages are also under that 200 moving average. So there's going to be a lot of work to flip these things the right way, which they were over here until we had that big old drop back in August. And then that helped them to flip over bearish. That's kind of a big deal. It really is, because that does not happen very often on the daily. The last time it happened was a year ago. Let me get these bigger guys off. They look confusing. And we went through a short season where it did it here, ironically, back September through October. That's crazy how things just rhyme. Doesn't necessarily repeat, but that does rhyme. Could we also get the same effect if we recover? I'd say, yeah. It's a big deal to recover this, especially to recover it so quickly. Hell yeah, because usually when it crosses, you get this, and it's not time for that. Totally not with the program. You did not get the itinerary Bitcoin, if that's what you're thinking, in the 4-year cycle after the halving. That's just stupid nonsense. That doesn't even mathematically compute. But here we are. What some are calling a bull flag to the upside. Well, I mean, I don't agree with that per se, but it could have that same effect bouncing from that pit level that we're looking at. It can have a nice move. Don't get it twisted. You want to know where? You want to know where it could go? Do you? Do you want to know where Road Dog thinks it could go? Do you? By the OFIBI standards, we should be hitting up here at 70,000. Of course, you may see this with the flag chasers because they love chasing them flags, but here you've actually got something that you got a one-to-one move there, an AB equals CD move. That is totally possible, and that's 73,000. However, this right here should be a definite turnaround point for this guy. So she might have to come back before she ever gets up to that area. So I mean, there's good things on the horizon if we just can keep making higher highs. We gotta get past this guy here. So he's coming in just right below my targets that we could extend to here. So it's definitely on the table and looks a little bit more realistic. I'm going to go ahead and put this one out there. 70,823. We got a measured move, but you know, that's technically that's correct. We'll put that one out there too. Got a lot of work to hit those targets if we do. And then right now, our latest high was at 66.5. We got to do better. We can't go nowhere until we do better. But that still doesn't get us over this guy. We need that 70,000. It may not come yet. I don't know. This is October. We usually start seeing the real turnarounds a little bit toward the last 2 weeks of October. Around through there's when we start getting a little bit more bullishy. But it also depends, you know, this is the first year of the 4-year cycle, I guess, after the halving anyway, or during the halving year. And the halving years can be just a little different, as we saw back just a little while ago. Number like to go up and during their halving years, like up a lot. Like a lot. And even if we just get a repeat of what we did last year, dang son, looking good. Can't you, could you, would you? What would that look like? What could that possibly look like? I know some of you are out there asking yourself that this very moment and saying, gosh darn it, I wish I knew what that would look like. Well, here, let me help you figure that kind of thing out. So I have no clue. But what if we get something like that? It takes us, oh my gosh, look at there, 100,000. We top out, we go a little bit of 100, and then we lose 100,000, and we're ever going to break 100,000. We can't seem to break 100,000. That makes sense. That 100,000 area right there would make a nice area to toy with us for a while. According to this fractal, it's January. Early January would be a nice place, and 1st of December would be nice, but this is all just speculation and make-believe, because I've never yet seen price follow a fractal exactly. I've seen them come close now, but anything could happen. Even if we got to the same targets, it can do. It can make any little pretty picture it wants to in there. Shout out to everybody hanging out with me. We're going to look at altcoins tonight. I got a hunkering the feeling that it might be a juicy weekend for altcoins, just depending on, what the whales are up to right now. I don't trust them. Well, you gotta, you can't trust them, but you gotta watch them, see what they're doing, see if you can do what they're doing when they do it. Maybe before they do it. Wouldn't that be awesome? We got Strega. How's it going, Strega? Sam? Barnum with the alien face. How's it going, guys? Hope your portfolios are growing, your bags are growing. Hope your trades are going well. Jay in fishing. How's Theta looking? I'll put that on my list. It was looking okay earlier when I was looking up my position. Chris123 says, let's go. Crypto Brad says, smash the like. Man, I like the way you think, Crypto Brad. You think a lot like Elvis. Sean, that was a cue to cue Elvis.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
You try to hire the best, but you can't afford them, so you take with what you can get. And at least he knows how to drive a tractor. There's Joe from Trade Intuitions. Made it. What's up, people? For those of you that do not know, Joe's also a YouTuber. Trade Intuition crypto analyst. You go check him out. He usually broadcasts when the earth is not collapsing around him during a hurricane, usually at 3 p.m. every day. And he was out for a few days, but now he's back full force, teaching that alpha that you need to know. Quite frankly, you need to know it. He's bringing out some more advanced stuff, honestly. Taking it up a notch today. I was seeing some good stuff that I liked over there, Joe. I like it. You need to be there with Joe. If you're having trouble grasping this market, he sits there and goes through it every day like a mentor. I mean, I try to do it my own way. He's got his way that is really good. Mine's kind of silly. His is kind of like what you need to pay attention some there. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Joe, get familiar with Joe. He's a good guy, helping us on our journey to life-changing wealth. Not money, wealth. If we do this right, we gotta do it right? So things are popping off tonight. Lots, mostly. Did we say hi to everybody? I hope like we said hi to everybody, didn't we? Brandon K, what's up, man? Anyone heard of Joshua altcoin? I've not heard of it. There are always new ones popping off every day, though. Let's take a quick look at Theta. We really should take a look at total 3, a quick glance, but I did that earlier. She's looking like she could do a little stuff this weekend. She's also got a point where she might roll over too, so we got to be cautious of that. So Theta doing good. We got a breakout of a channel. It's a lackluster breakout. Where's the volume at? Lackluster volume. We like volume spikes like this when we break out. That's good. That's good. That can lead to more of this. When we don't have that with a breakout, well, I mean, actually, this is good because it could have done worse. Sometimes they break out, they come back, and they just ride that leg. I hate that. That sucks. The only way you can get around it is wait till it clears other areas and take the more conservative approach, but that's kind of hard for some of us DJs, especially us that like to buy along these bottom trend lines whenever we can. And we don't, it's a trade-off, what's your risk tolerance? If you're trying not to, if you're really, really guarding your risk, well, either one of those ways. The degen way would give you a low risk net thing if you're really trying to get the bottoms, but it's still risky because you could still be going lower. The breakout, definitely risky. Waiting for a higher high after it confirms the level. That's definitely safer, but even then, it might get you if you degen in too hard. Joe talks about all this kind of stuff over there. Check him out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on Theta. We got rejected in here at about 150. Drop back down to 129 at the moment. What do we get down to? 119, pretty good. And I mean, it's totally acceptable to expect us to retest these areas about 115 and kind of bounce around in a little channel idea. 200 moving averages suggest that the 175 area could come into play here, but let me get rid of this little line there. Don't want that to block your way, Theta. That's not an obstacle. You don't have to. I moved it for you. You can go up now. Oh, it's my fault. Road Dog, it's your fault. They ain't even done nothing. To me, when I'm looking, I know we got to break out and other stuff. To me, I just see a channel. I see a sideways freaking channel right now. A good thing to use in the channel, and I'm starting to like this thing more and more, is this fixed range volume profile, and it's free, and you just got to pull it off your TradingView. And I don't know if some of this changes. I think I've seen it on one exchange that uses TradingView that had it too. It's suggesting that we can come up here to 131, then also this area about 150 in a range. Maybe even wick up in this box. It likes to do the box. That's why I got the box there. But I'm not seeing anything imminent for a breakout, because just like Bitcoin, I mean, it lost a lot of stuff here, so it's not like it's ready to just pop up through the roofs. Anything can, now Ichimoku Cloud likes that idea. She looks like she's just, I don't know, had too much coffee today or something, but the moving averages are saying, Itchy, you need to chill the F out, baby. It's got a lot of work to do, honey. And it does, but it could. We made a higher, this is a possible higher low here, so we could possibly make a higher high. So biggest thing is we got to get past this area. Now, if we're looking at my fib strategy, we already fibbed it out, and anything below 177 will be a bargain zone, and we're definitely in bargain territory here at 129. Because in the bigger picture of things, I expect it to at least come back up to the $2 area and possibly up closer to the $3 area. So yeah, I would rather go for the X's than make. Oh wow, look, I made $25 today, honey. I only had to spend $2,000 to do it. You do that 3 times a day, and it'll probably take you forever to grow that dang account. Seems to take other people to do that too. Anyway. You're at a good time. We're at such a good time. A lot of people are starting to stock up on their alts, getting ready for the big move. Personally, I'm waiting for a possible lower move, and I've got a take profit plan, because I think we got one more up and one more down, and if I'm wrong, well, I have to work around that. But if I'm right, then I'll have some dry powder just to really go hard. If not, and I'm wrong, and everything just starts going to the moon, trying to get me to chase them candles, well, I don't want to chase no candles, baby, but I can find an entry at another level, and then I can start finding areas to kind of short this little sucker when she gets up there on spot margin. It's a lot easier to do on spot margin. You'll hear me talk about that a lot. Did have a membership stream today. So if you're a member of the channel, there's one over there. I was going over my spot margin account and the strategies and stuff. It's I think about a 30-minute video, 30-minute stream that I did. And just how I'm handling and how I'm managing that portfolio, where it is right now, where it's been, and it's a roller coaster ride, and my thoughts on it. And that's about it. I have been thinking about doing the chart school. I have the chart school video series. I was thinking about doing that in the members section. Kind of like just a live online class. I don't know. Throwing those ideas around, might see what kind of response I get from that. All right, so we checked out Theta. Theta looks pretty decent to me now in smaller time frames. Let me check that out for you. 4 hours, she's got to recover that 200 moving average. Looks like she's trying, but this last crossing, that's making me kind of wonder. I do like that though. Let me see what I can weasel out of you right now. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, I think she might have a chance to do it. And come back up here about 141 short term. And it looks like with the moving averages and the 618s and B whatnots, and us being up toward this area where a belt line might go, that this area right up through here about 140 will be kind of a iffy, touchy area where people might be shorting, or might be a lot of sell pressure there. So she might get And the range, same thing the ranges guy. I just got it too. So a lot of confidence coming in right here. I wasn't even looking at that one. It already had it spelled out. That's a pretty cool indicator, I gotta say. The more I use it, the more I'm like, wow, you just cut right to the chase, don't you, mister? And that's a good thing. So if I had to look for a target, I would be looking for that area right there and maybe a little higher. I want to talk about this MFer right here. This little MFer right here has just been doing some stuff. She's been going up and going down, and I don't know, man. I think she's lost. I can't deal with this. We got to go somewhere else other than that. How about look at this MFer. Oh look, did she nail me targets? I'm on the license. The ones you're working on way back there. What is that? What is? I don't even know. These are old, dude. Still valid though, huh? I've looked at this on a recent chart though. I've looked at this before. This is back in June. It's hard to find this little MFer. Oh, here we go. Here's something recent. Look at you, pulled the fib and everything. So this little area here. Oh, you already went up and came back. I see. Still in a cool area, I think. I'm still looking for this guy. I think we break back up here. We got to. It's just part of the game. It's got to get above it. Made a higher high and went out over here, so yay! So I guess we can start changing things up. She looks like she wants to, for an altcoin, looks like she wants to go parabolic for a little bit. I mean, unless she just drops back down to this trend line, she looks like she's trying to make another one. Would you not agree? Look at that. It respects it. If so, then bounce up here, come back, and then we're probably going to get another angle. Something like that as she starts coming up to here. So if you don't sell too soon, that's going to be the tricky part about right now. When we start getting bullish, you're going to be wanting to take profits, but you might take too much too soon. Or you might find yourself not taking enough before we come down. It's a little bit of a tricky thing. Hopefully we can work through some of that stuff. 0.059, almost 0.6 cents on MFer. You're at 2.5 cents? You little MFer. Popcat's been popping off. That's a real popper. Look, she broke to the upside. Oh, we got to zoom out on this one. Are you getting ready to go You're getting ready to go parabolic. You look like you wanting to go parabolic. We'll put you that way. I believe you are. You are. Oh, look, she hit me target and then she turned into support. And it can do that. It can definitely do that. Let's take a look at Popcat. Some people are still swearing by the meme coins as that's where you can make the best money. I don't know. I mean, there are definitely some X's, but it's all about getting in early on those meme coins, because after they start getting those big multi-million, almost billion-dollar market caps, it's kind of like it takes a lot to move that. So how many people can come on board? Because you got to get them in, or get them in where they're putting their selling their house and putting it in the Floki Inu. I salute you. That is a true degen right there. That's more degen than ooh. We're going to zoom out a little. That's zooming out too much. To me, it appears like she wanting to go freaking parabolic, and that would be freaky. And I suppose you want me to try to figure out where she's going to go, even though we have no price history. Going to use this woo-woo science stuff. I'll take that challenge because I like to play around with that stuff. Let's get into some freaky voodoo price predictions. As soon as I find the button, I have to have the button. Sean? What the hell is he doing? Sean!
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, look, it's Latin music again. I think I've heard this song before. Let's pull out the pips. We're going to go with the... We're going to do the easy ones first. Oh, that's a deep-ass retracement. You did pretty good for that. She's already up there. And one of them. She, depending on, well, that was a deep one. That was a really deep one. Now let's get to the fun ones. The O extensions. $618's coming up there too for this move. She should start getting tired here. Popcat, $1.50. That's a nice number. I got $1.51 actually, and somewhere around $1.20 looks like. Well, that's kind of where we're at now. Finding some rejection there. Could possibly get through that little guy, but there's various fibs there that are giving us at least some temporary resistance. She might be able to break through that because this look muy interesantes to me because I think she got a breakout of what we've had. Let's put it right. Oh, no, not quite. Oh, she's trying. If she pulls this off, though, oh man, $1.50 ain't gonna hold it. We'll take the standard, more conservative measure move, and we'll put it at a possible breakout area, and we'll mark this one, not touching this line because that's measured. We don't want to move that and disrupt our measure. Although I see some people just stretch it wherever they want to go. And I'm like, why did you even measure it? Why don't you just throw a price label where just throw it on there like a dart? You're going to move your measure mover around. I don't know, that kind of irritates me. I don't know. Well, I can go all the way up here. Oh, bookmark said here. Yeah, measure move takes us up to bookmarks here. Yeah, I see that happen way too much. I'm like, dude, why are you doing it? Kind of the same thing with this little guy here too. I see that used a lot, and I'm like, well, dude, why don't you actually follow it? What's the point of calculating it out if you're just going to jump out whenever the hell you want to? What's the purpose of using that tool if you're not going to follow it? I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic, but I see some people that, they'll get a trade, whatever, some little flag or something to the upside, and I've even seen just pull up willy-nilly just to get a 3-to-1. I'm starting my stop loss here, and nope, no, I don't like that. Nope. It's got to be a 3. Got it. So they'll put it wherever it makes a 3 with that without looking at where targets or any. I've seen that. It's like, oh well. Well, that must be something they teach in that professional school of traders. You ever hear that? I'm a pro trader. What does that mean exactly? That should mean that you make the bulk of your income from trading. That would make you a professional trader. I would say if you only made 10% of your income from trading and 80% from, I don't know, whatever business you got going on, probably wouldn't make you a pro trader. Probably make you a good business person, though, or salesperson. How did you get in here? The gripey person's complaining. Okay, so we got these ideas that could take us up to some good prices, 150, 165. If we break out of this thing, and they can, she looks like she wants to go parabolic. She's got to kind of clear these areas. I mean, price clearly she is at the moment. Let's go to Christmas tree candles. She working on that breakout right now. So she starts closing candles up here. Because I've got the angles here, nice angles, and I applied it to the candle bodies on my other ones. Regardless, even on this one, she's still breaking out. If she can hold it, might have something there. She's got a steep angle to hold though. So once she does come up a little bit, I do expect a retest in this area. So if you don't, if you want to make double sure, look for it to come up and then bounce off of here. Doesn't happen every time, but it's good when it does. Makes it a lot safer. Here we are. Popcat on the 4 hour above the 200 moving average. You're looking good, Popcat. Hope you can do it. Go make us some gains, baby. Here's an idea. Let's go to that. She's still got wicks above it. That would be your rising wedgie. Just goes right up that crack. Makes you want to pop up on out of there. Maybe she'll pop on up out of there and shake it off. Walk it off, baby. Walk it off. Walk that wedgie off. You can do it. Big time. Had a pretty good day. I'll go back to the chat just right here in a second. See if you guys got any other coins you want to take a look at. I like the chart spot. Let's go with spot over here. Big get. What you got going on? Oh, we've done big time before. Yeah. Shouldn't need. Okay, so it's already done for us. So we're trying to figure out its trend line possibilities because it looked like she was trying to do something here and then she decided, nope. Boja! Trend lines can help save you. Going to this. Oh, she lost that one. Well, that's going to be a problem. So this area here, right above her on that trend line, and right where these moving averages are coming in. Let's zoom in on that. Oh, that's 4 hour. That's going to be a hiccup about 13 cents. I got this fib area right here at 13 and a half. Might make it up there. I mean, she's made it up there before. She might go through it. That'd be cool if she did reclaim this trend line. What I am wanting to do right now is just take this in as new information, and let's just do this. May have to, when I do that, I actually like to go with this. Do you see that? Let me show you. This is my little trick that I do. I don't ever see anybody else doing this, but I call it my little order of operations when it comes to these trend lines, and I find it very helpful for figuring this stuff out. So this was the original trend line we're following with these touches here, and of course we broke it, all right? So if I want to include this one, a lot of people just want to do this, right? I mean, it's normal, and you can, and ultimately, I mean, yeah, but if you want to be more accurate with what it's actually doing, I found if you just go back to the last touch that you had, go from that point to your new one, that kind of opens up what's really happening, and if there's a channel, that's going to help you find it. Because if you try to do this one to that channel, you might get some weird results. So when this happens, in my opinion, it's just making a new angle that is probably already played around with before right here. I would say candle tops and a wick right there. I'd say we've got a little bit. I would say it probably lines up pretty well under here. See how that works? It is not perfect. Oh, she got some candle bodies there into the wick, so. Maybe I didn't. And I even get anal about, you know, where I'm wanting candle bodies. I get anal about my angles here sometimes because it can make a difference. I find it fascinating when price goes right to your line. And it can do that if you're just a little bit, you know, not just slapping them on there willy-nilly, but just kind of put a little thought and practice into it. So if this is what we're doing, this is our higher low now. Looks like it possibly is. Got a little validation with these angles is how I'm interpreting this. That gives me more confidence that, oh no, that's just gonna come down, roll over and come on down. I know, because we've got a new line of support here. I had this carried back here, by the way. And I think if you stretch this thing on back, you'd be coming right down to the top of this little guy. So 13 cents, but man, we could come back up here to about 16 cents. On big time. Of course, you know the good old fibs. Always looking over here, so we definitely got to get above this. That's a support resistance slip right there on the 236. It does so good at finding those areas. 14.5, 15.8. Those would be some good targets. Buying anywhere along this line, wherever it comes back down to, is how I play it. Critical Mass Enterprise. You found that like button. Appreciate that. Hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. This is Critical Mass. Extremely desirable rocket ship. Jason says, I've been waiting for a pullback on PopCat. Missed the train from 50 cents. Looks like I'm missing out on the whole thing. Oh, it will crash. You'll have another chance. It's hard to believe that when things are going up. It is. It's hard to believe it. You're like, oh man, you're doing off without me. But there will be a pullback. And at some point, there'll be a really good one. Look at it this way. You don't have to ride that one down. Youngwalk says, is this a weekend analysis? It is. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Sam says, Tao had a good day. Respectfully, I'm really trying to understand what you're saying, but what are you trying to teach? Well, I teach best when I get questions. I don't get that many questions. Otherwise, I'm just going over the process that I use when I'm analyzing my charts to make trade setups. And a lot of the things, you know, I'm already in a position and I'm just kind of monitoring that, and we'll talk about that. But also trying to identify areas where, you know, one could add into a trade if one already has it, or where one could start a trade, for instance, right here. If you're trying to make money in crypto, you want to find a good trade setup. My take is the closer that you can get in to this trend line, you can have a high stop loss, and that way you don't have as much to risk. Whereas if you wait for it to get too far away, oh, your risk to reward ratio just kind of goes out the window. So we tried to identify these areas early. This one has been missed, so it will come back at some point, at some lower point than it is now. It should. It really, really should. Good chance too. So we would kind of wait for that kind of idea. So otherwise, we're just monitoring it, and then anything that I find that might, you know, I just try to share what's going on in my head and how I look at these charts and interpret them. And there might be something that I bring up or talk about that, you know, might resonate with some of you guys. And then the whole thing is, you know, you're trying with this game in crypto, this game in trading, you're trying to find something that works for you. I found something that works really, really amazing for me, and I'm sharing it freely. And so I have, you know, my little certain set of indicators and whatnot that I do, and I'm sharing how I'm using them and how I can blend them together and get these charts to actually start talking to me, instead of me sitting there going, oh my God, I can't tell if you're going up or down. And so there's things on here that we can do to help us kind of navigate these charts. And learning this, well, I don't have to work for anybody anymore, and that's a big accomplishment, and I'm very excited about that. I can afford only to make 15 cents an hour on a YouTube 2-hour stream. That's how it works for me. Does that not work anymore? Oh, yay! Delayed applause there. Okay. You lost your effect there. So I hope I answered your question there. And now, if I were to kind of categorize what kind of trader that I am, I'm mostly a swing trader. Although I've been heavy into position trading which is kind of like farming in a way. So swing trading means I would hold a trade normally for from a weeks to, you know, even longer, to a month and a half or so, maybe even longer. Position trading definitely holding for longer on things, several months up to that. Sometimes I do some day trading, you know, on my phone or whatnot. That just keeps me occupied during the day and keeps my skills sharp. But when it comes to my style, I would say I started out mostly as a pattern trader. Actually, I started out with just trend lines, and I learned a lot just from that. And then I learned pattern trading, and then, you know, little tricks and things with indicators. A lot of those I brought with me from when I was playing around with crypto bots. I wish I knew how to do TA then, and that would have made a lot more sense to me then, but I know a lot of things about indicators just from those experiences and having to tweak my bots and program my bots years ago. Luckily, I finally learned TA and learned things of support and resistance and trend lines, and then the Fibonacci caught me. And that Fibonacci has been a very enlightening experience for me, and I've learned things. Because when you start out, all I was ever taught about Fibonacci was just pulls it, and look, there's a 614, maybe we'll bounce there. It's a good place to bounce. And I thought, oh, that's all the fib's for? No, baby, there's a whole strategy for this fib. There's a whole way that you can get a good idea of where the major pivot points are going to be. I mean, that's what it does, it spells them out. But there's also some strategies and little techniques that you can use to forecast them up into these upper areas and certain ones at certain places that seem to be very highly accurate. If it doesn't nail it, maybe at least she catch it. Even if she goes on through just a little bit, she should still catch the bulk of the good parts. And so I use those to try to find areas where price has a higher probability to reverse or to pivot. And so I base my strategies and take profits around those zones. So hopefully I've kind of answered that question. The Beast Whale says, any thoughts on Hex or Pulse Chain? I don't mess with it because it's too hard to get into. I did mess with Hex when it was at 3 cents, and then it hasn't been back there since, so kind of lost my thing with Hex. Some people swear by it, some people love it, but to me it's like it's on a little enclosed ecosystem out on it's a little desert island. Unless there's some inflows and outflows, unless it's integrated and there's some interoperability, I don't, you know, I think every crypto's got to be interoperable if it's going to survive. Factor Bateman, hey, welcome to stream. How do you trade crypto in US? Well, one way, you always have decentralized exchanges, right? And there's some good ones out there. Osmosis on Cosmos ecosystem, excellent. They got coins from everywhere. That place has grown up. Uniswap, even just from some of the wallets you can exchange from there, like the Phantom wallet. Sometimes I exchange through there, go to Jupiter. So you can use the DEXs, but then I also use centralized exchanges. I do most of my trading on centralized exchanges. I use COINEX, and I also use BitMunix. Used to use MEXC. I think I can still use MEXC, but since, you know, they're throwing everybody off, and I thought I was going to be one of them having to leave, I just moved everything and just never moved anything back over there. Let's see, for exchanges, I do have some link. Oh, and I also use, I use Crypto.com a lot. I've got their card. I love the exchange. I don't think it's one necessary for traders if you're going to be serious about trading and getting the charts and trying to, because, well, they got a lot of slippage and yeah, it's done a little different. You can do it. You got to think of Crypto.com as a swap exchange, just like you do your centralized, your DEXs and stuff that you use on the phone. That's the best way. Although they will let you put limit orders in now, but they got big spreads over there, baby. Your Bitcoin price over here and what it is over Crypto.com, that's how they make their money over there. But it's still a good exchange. I use it. I can throw up some links for the exchanges that I personally use and vouch for. If I can find them. I've got CoinEx. MEXC, I don't know if you can use that now or not. Some of them, with the United States, with them ensuring our freedom here to transact business in the world, will not let us use certain. They put pressure on the exchanges, and then the exchanges just say, screw it. If you're from these countries, just don't even bother. So that sucks. But you kind of run into that with KYC issues. Thank you, Elizabeth Warren, for being such a... I hope you get beat this season. So CoinEx, MEXC, Crypto.com. And then BitUnix. Now that one's great for if you're in the US. BitUnix is awesome. I love it. I should do it more. I've just got most of my money over on CoinEx because they offer spot margin. Some exchanges don't offer the same things. A lot of them offer futures and spot, but a few of them offer spot margin. And when I find one, I like to. KuCoin offers it too, which I miss KuCoin. I used to like KuCoin. No problem, Young Walk. I hope I answered your question there. Oh man, am I this way behind in the chat? Jackson says, well, beautiful question. First I got offensive, but now your question makes sense. I'm way behind. I already forgot what question we're talking about. Was it my question or someone else's question? Road Dog is a performance chartist. I like that phrase. I really do. I think it fits. So you don't think to hodl 300K of crypto and wait for bull markets as a good idea? Says DMC3. So you don't think to hodl 300,000 of crypto and wait? Wait for bull markets. Oh no. Listen, when it comes to crypto, here's what you're going to find. You're going to see lots of people out there leverage trading and doing the futures trading, and that's the big thing, and that's the big push. Now let's talk about this. Where do exchanges make money? It's futures, most definitely. Where do most people lose their money? Futures, most definitely. How many people have you heard that said, I made it through crypto through leverage trading? That's what did it. Some people can do good. Most people do not. It sucks. It's gambling. It's straight up gambling. It's stacked against you. It's just that it's very well hidden. It's like, I don't know, taking someone's been starving into the grocery store, there's like, or maybe taking an alcoholic out to the bar, something's, they cater so that you will give in to your emotions and you'll go in, and that's how they get you. And when you use leverage, man, your emotions are on fire. So they make their money through futures and stuff like that. Oh gosh, did you lose your train of thought? Road Dog, you suck, Road Dog. Let me go back to the question. So the hodl, the most of the money that you're going to make, you hear about leverage and then and using margin and stuff. Now you can use margin, like smart margin. There's a strategy to do that. It's got its pros and cons, but your best way to make life-changing money is, like I think what you were saying in your question, the long-term plays. That's why I've been doing position trading. It's that concept. The market cycle, you got your markup, you got your distribution phase, and then you got your markdown phase. And then you got your accumulation phase, and you just wash, rinse, repeat, hopefully doing it higher and higher. So with your hodl strategies and your position strategies, you're trying whatever asset you're trying to get into, you're trying to get as much as you can near the bottoms. And maybe you pick out a little bit on the tops, play the ups and downs and add and build the bags. Maybe. Mostly the important thing is to get in as cheap as you can, because that's where you get all your multiples. And so, hodling and saving is a good strategy. Now, here's the thing that you've got to weigh out, though. This market is not ever straight up. There are ups and downs and ups and downs. And so, it's a roller coaster. So, if you are playing this, hodling, if you're just holding, you have to ask yourself, should I take profits at certain levels and then look for major dips to add back in, or should I just ride the whole roller coaster? I'm going to lean more that you should take some profits, not selling your whole bags, but selling portions, maybe 25% of your bag, and then trying to buy back at lower, or maybe up to half. But you also got to allow for your margin of error execution, and know that you're not going to always nail that idea. So that's why I say maybe 25% of it or something to play with that. And maybe you can leave the rest of it in there, whatever you're comfortable with. But that's an idea you got to consider, and that will help you compound your bags and grow your bag, get more coins as you ride them up. And, it's hard to nail the tops of the bull market. And if you try to do that, you might have some success. But when we get up here, everybody's swearing we're going higher, and it doesn't feel like it's the top. You're just like confused. Kind of like what we feel like right now, really. Or for real. It feels a lot like a top. You're like, okay, yeah, okay, we're getting ready to do it now. Yeah, now's the time. And then it doesn't. And then, oh crap, it's over. You don't figure it out until it's too late. So the best way, in my personal opinion, and what I will be doing with my big HODL bags and my bigger position trades, is that I will be scaling out as we come up the whole way. And that allows me to have some dry powder, or that extra money. They call it dry powder. I don't know why, but for any dips or any new opportunities that come around. And once this is going, it gets a lot easier. Right now, the market's not working against me, so I'm like, win more dry powder. But we're getting there. We're starting to see those rises. But one thing that you might consider, one thing that I put into effect when we actually start moving up, is that each month I start taking out 5%. Just each month, 5%. Each bullish month, let's put it that way. Each bullish month, I might take out 5% just to put it over into stablecoin. Because if you don't, it can just disappear on you. But at least you're realizing some gains that way, and then you've got it there if you need it for something else later on. When we do get we will have big crashes. They will come. There'll be some that scare you. Kind of like what we've seen a few months ago. Imagine that happening about 3 or 4 more times. Those are some good things to capitalize on if you're ready for it and prepared for it. So if you pull out on the way up, then we're good to go. So yes, that is the best strategy to make the most gains, is to have the biggest bags that you can and try to hold on to them as far as you can. But make sure you're in good projects, solid projects that are actually going to, have that demand. Jackson says, well, we have 21 people today. Oh, wow, cool. Currently, I see I've got, concurrent 17, but it says, yeah, 22 current viewers. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I feel honored to have you here. Hopefully I won't disappoint. So this is just a forum for sharing, really. And I mean, I welcome questions for anything that I do or talk about to go deeper into outside, and any coin requests that you guys got. We'll take a look at some of those. Otherwise, just go down the list of ones that are either, I go down the ones that look interesting, maybe ones that are exciting, ones that I'm in, and trying to find ones that have something good going on. And that's one thing I've been meaning to do on these streams, is start getting some trade setups and start posting them over in our free, which, by the way, I have a free Telegram community. I'm not going to call it a trading group. Most of those are paid. This is a free community. It's got lots of free resources over there. And sometimes we even put the setups over there. This is our most recent trade that I've actually got over there and participated in and everything. And oh, baby, it was a hard one. She was a hard one, but it was getting into Bitcoin about 60,500 just or somewhere, and riding it up to 61. And after this, she came down. That was the top. But that was the target. And that's part of the fib magic. And it did not. This was not a fun trade whatsoever. I think Brackets Adventures was right there with me through a lot of it. It sucked. It was like, oh, and I got stopped out like 3 times before she finally, I got a solid entry there. She was stopping me out and then coming back in. But then we got it, and there we go. It made the gains and then gave them up. But I like to try to do some more of that stuff over there. There's Joe. Hey, Joe. I lost the chat again. I do that. Patrick says, do you ever short these coins? I do. Do I ever short them on futures? I think might be what you're asking, and rarely. I'm not. If I'm doing futures, I just want to concentrate on Bitcoin, really, because when it comes to the altcoins on futures, you got to worry both about what Bitcoin is doing and how the altcoin is going to respond, as well as whatever else is going on in that altcoin community. You got more areas of failure when you're trying to trade them, in my personal perspective. You can make good, but it just takes for one of those three elements just to fall off the rack. I don't know, maybe there's some bad news that came out about the coin. Maybe the team did something, anything that just pops off and like, oh crap. So you've always got that, but then you also got to worry about Bitcoin's doing. And then you got to worry, and even worrying about Bitcoin, we got to worry about what the real other market's doing and what's going on in the world to the extent, you know? So it adds layers of complexity, I think, and I have the more luck just trading Bitcoin and getting more familiar with Bitcoin. That's why I do like trading futures with Bitcoin, because it keeps me right there in the grind with it. But I just do it with a small amount, because every time I start getting up to bigger amounts, my ass usually gets handed to me in some big ass correction that comes out of nowhere. Well, that I'm too cocky to realize, oh no, it'll be all right, we'll shake it off. We're a perpetual futures trading genius. So yeah, but now I do short on spot margin, and all that is me borrowing. You know, I've got a limit. Well, you know, you got $1,000 you put over into a spot margin thing, a pair or account or whatever, and you can borrow up to 3, 5, 10x depending on what it is set for that pair. And so you know, if I could whatever coin, you know, I could, you know, borrow 3,000 coins, and then I can use my hourglass strategy that I do over there. It helps me to kind of hedge and also play some ranges, and helps to build my bags. And it's an easy strategy. I went over it today in our private membership thing, but this is how I place my. So I do short. Yeah. If I don't want to sell my coins, if I already got my bag built. So that's what I use spot margin for. You know, I'll put some coins over there. I might put 1,000 coins over there. I'll build that bag up to 2,000 or 3,000 coins, and I want that to be my HODL bag, like we were talking about earlier, to use later on. Well, the only way I can do that is I got to pay off that loan so that I can keep those coins. So I need to also borrow some coins and start shorting and layering them in, and then layer in my buys. And I've got a little strategy where, you know, she just kind of slowly grows on the way up, and on the way down it helps me to hedge some, if that makes sense. So I call it my hourglass strategy that I'll use. But you can't do that on futures. Does not work on futures. You have to treat futures, you gotta have the right mentality for the right instrument. And for the longest time, until August, it finally stuck in my head that you're trying to do the wrong plan trying to do a different. My plan does not match up with the instrument, because I'm trying to play it like I would a swing trade or a position trade on some of those future things, and it's not designed for that. It'll suck you up with fees. It's just not made for it. So they're better. They're good for day trading, good for scalps, and maybe for short swing trades, for maybe something that's not over, you know, a few days to maybe a week or so. I wouldn't want to push more than a week on futures whatsoever, because then no. Hey, Joe gifted 5 Road Dog memberships. Hey, I appreciate that, Joe. Thank you, my man. Let's show a little appreciation. Yeah! All right! Help support the channel. That's free. This is a free channel. I don't charge for anything. At some point in the game, I mean, I had this little thought, maybe a trading group would be kind of cool somewhere out there, but I don't think I have the motivation to go do that whole thing and then have to do the whole spiel thing. I like the setup I got now. It's free, it's easy, we're in there, we're chill, we share information, it's a community, and that's all I ever wanted for it, for real. I think, you know, I'm not here to sell courses and all that stuff. It might be an idea, it might be a good business decision later on or something, but right now it's just about me sharing and just trying to do some stuff that works, you know? So Joe got one. Celinda got one. Oh, cool. Y'all can go check out the membership stuff then. I'll try to put some more over there. Dream Tanks got one. 80 got a membership. Answer Me got a membership. Joe just made it rain. He just made it rain. Why is that not working? What else we got? We got something else. Yes, Joe just made it rain. Woo! It's a party now. Appreciate that, Joe. Joe must have had a good day trading. Random Trader says, we appreciate all the knowledge you're sharing. Hey, thank you. I appreciate the feedback because sometimes I wonder. Sometimes these streams go on way too long, too. And I'm like, nobody's going to watch that 2-hour stream. Gerthan says, what's the difference between spot margin and leverage? Well, they're both forms of leverage. It's just that with spot margin, it's like, it really is this simple. You got $1,000 or whatever. Let's just go with $100. Let's keep it low. You got $100 or $100 worth of tokens. You use that as collateral, and then you can borrow depending I don't know. Let's see. Oh no, gosh, why am I going with Tia? That sucks. I got some bad news going on. Oh, reminds me, I got news tonight. Or I have 100 coins. Well, I can borrow against that. Say it's a 3x pair on spot margin. Okay, we know that's the get-go. That's all it is. So I can borrow up to $300. That would be my full 3x. That would max me out. I never do that. I actually probably, if you do the math, I'm probably actually on like a 3x coin. I'm probably running about 1.5, maybe 2 if I push it, 2x. When you do the math for what I'm actually borrowing and how I'm handling the loan. But you're borrowing money, buying coins, then you're selling them higher, and you just pay back the loan. Whereas futures, it's just all done for you and whatever, and you adjust your leverage, but you've got more finesse over this because you can control how much leverage that you're using just by how much you're borrowing. You can control your risk easier, is what I'm trying to say. It's not so much about controlling the leverage as it is control your risk. It's easier to control your risk over there. That's how I was able to weather the big brunt of the big drops that we had with these altcoins. Some of them got me, but most of them I came out okay. I came out good and built a bag doing it. But I can borrow coins to short, or I can borrow dollars to buy and put limit orders in, or however you want to trade. You can fit it to whatever your system is. But it's an interesting place to. It's very good for position trading and good for swing trading. And then you got your futures, which is, seriously, man, it's gambling. It freaking really is. You can go up to 100x leverage on a lot of places, or a lot of people trading 50. In some cases, you got to do that for little short moves, scalpers and things like that. You use higher leverage, and there's a time and place for it. But futures is more for your shorter term trades, and you can try to ride that thing down in bigger positions and lower leverage and everything, but those fees, they eat you up. On futures, you'll notice you'll get your position in. Say you got Bitcoin at 54,000. Okay. Well, over time, you're trying to ride that up. This is your liquidation. Let's just say this is your liquidation for futures at 54,000. Well, over time, that sucker's growing up, and it's growing because they're taking money from you, and it's raising, the fees are raising that liquidation amount. So you think you're in a good thing, you got your stop losses set, and you turn around, and suddenly maybe you're at 55,000, and your stop loss is set at 54,500, and if you're not paying attention, those scenarios can creep up on you. But your liquidation mark always steadily rises on these futures spots. And especially if you're adding in, that will boost them up more too. But just leaving them alone, just the rates will make it rise by itself, and it can throw you off. The more that you borrow, or the higher your leverage, the higher your fees. And it's a racket, for real. If you dive into it, it's a racket if you look deeper at it. But you can make money, and so much money if you're in the right that it pays for it. It's free and clear, right? But when it goes against you, yeah, that's where it gets you big time. Knowledge is the true currency, says Random Trader. Alpha alert. You are a cool arrow. Was it? The arrow is, well, you're a cool character. Thank you, Crypto Cash. I'm some kind of character. Hector Bayman, he's about to blow up on YouTube. It's been 2 years, bro. We ain't got there yet. I don't know. Plus, I'm in love with the dancing girls. That's why they're there. To the upside with all of you, says Sam. All right. Well, I started when he used to have only one watcher, says Jackson. Yeah. That was why. You come on here and have no watchers. That's just freaky. You're just like, I don't even. That just feels so awkward. But it's also awkward when you just have that one watcher and now you feel like you're on the on display. It's been a wild journey. It's been a wild journey. Random Trader says, how can I join? Well, the free trading community, I've got the links in the descriptions of the video, and they're also here in the chat. The YouTube membership, it's just that $2.99 tier, and it just gives you access to some. What I'm doing now, I'm throwing out some member videos. I'm going to add to that, but what I've done lately, and it hasn't been as much lately because the market's been crap, but I'm going over my spot margin takes and just some trading strategies. I went over Fibonacci. I went over a lot about how I use Fibonacci, although I've got more to add to that. And I'm planning on doing maybe some classes or something over there too. Starting out with the basics, and then I'm maybe build up a little course that I'll eventually move to one of the higher tiers of the YouTube membership. But for everybody that's there now, they can partake and see it or whatever. I'm not going to exclude anybody. I'll include everybody in there, but then I might bump something up to another tier if it's. Dude, I don't know. I got to think of some way to, make this YouTube thing work too, right? Run it more business-like. So, because right now it's just nothing but an expense. But it's a fun one. It's educational. It's definitely helped me. I've become a better trader and a better analyst doing the YouTube because it puts you out there on the spot. And that's one of the things I encourage, like over in the free group. But I did that with Chris. Crispy Chicken, you might know him. He's one of the admins over there. He's been with me from the beginning over here. So that's why I encouraged him. I said, start posting charts. Just to it will make you a better. It'll make you a better chartist because you don't want to look stupid. So you got to put yourself out there a little bit. So you'll dot your I's and cross your T's, when you first start doing it, and you'll get more confidence, not only in posting and sharing your ideas, but also in that your ideas will play out. And so I think it's important that and I've got a trade setups area, and I welcome anybody else to post over there too. And then I've got a student chart area where that's where I welcome, especially for new people post them there. And if you're looking for some feedback, I can try to offer some feedback and stuff. But there's lots of learning materials over here, especially if you go into the files. You can't just scroll through. You go through the file section. You got to pull. I forgot how you do it. You can't even show us how to do it, Road Dog. So you click on the top thing up there, and then you go to the file sections. And I've got books. I've got all kinds of stuff over here. I've got cheat sheets. I've got all kind. Some of the things I use here, the little things I throw up. Like here was one. I've been looking for this one. Where did it go? You suck, Road Dog. Where did it go? We just lost it? Because I think Brackish was even asking me about time frames, and I knew I had. Well, I think I did find it and post it. I get lost over here. Another reason why it's free, because you got to dig and find all this stuff. But I've got all kinds of free trading books. Thomas Bukowski's Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns, which sometimes you can't find it under $250 because everybody wants it. High demand, and they didn't print enough. That PDF version's over here. I was trying to click this guy. Best time frames for investors. So this kind of helps. Because this question, what time frame should I be looking at? And so for day traders, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, and 4 hours. You want to start on a bigger time frame to make your plan, and then execute it on the smaller ones. Basically, how work it out. And so for day traders, you want to I'd say pay attention to the daily too. Got to go through daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15, and 5. But for swing traders, weekly, daily, and that's what we do, top-down analysis starting from those, but we actually execute like on one of these. So 4 hours for the investor is a good one to follow. We just lost that again. And for swing traders, so I like to plan mine on the 4 hour for my swing trades, and I like to execute them even on smaller time frames than the 15 minute. But it gives you an idea about which time frames kind of fall into what we should be looking at, the governing time frames, and then the little plus ones are the the accepted entry for investors, the 4 hour, swing traders 15 minute, day trader 5 minute. Yeah, that varies a little bit depending on your personality, but that's a good rule of thumb to follow right there. Yeah, wait, quit looking at altcoins. I haven't looked at any altcoins in the last few minutes. Right now, I didn't get it set up, did I? Oh man, that's what I forgot to do. Let's do this. Layer GG has finally started posting some news again, and I love Layer GG. Let me get him set up here. Oh, we got it? We don't have it? Is that it? All right, we're going to take a news break and see what the altcoins have been doing. First time we've done this in a minute. Wow, man, you are so lost on this. Sean? Dang it, we're waiting. Just waiting on you, Sean. We're waiting on him to put the... Well, you don't have it. There we go. All right, so what's happened in crypto in the last 24 hours? Grayscale has introduced a new crypto funds for Aave accessible to accredited investors. That's some great news for Aave. Aptos announced that Franklin Templeton has launched an on-chain U.S. government money market fund, FOBXX, on Aptos networks. That's some good news for Aptos. Visa has announced the launch of Visa Tokenized Assets Platform, VTAP. VTAP aims to launch initial live pilots with select customers in 2025. BBVA, Spain's second largest bank, plans to launch its own stablecoin in 2025 utilizing VTAP, Visa Tokenized Assets Platform. Crypto is growing, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting that world adoption. It's coming. It's right around the corner. It's happening. A lot of it this cycle. Are you ready? Do you have a plan to be ready? Arkham, yes. Coinbase International has announced the Arkham Perpetual Futures Market, which will begin on October 10th after 9:30 a.m. UTC. Binance Labs announced the investment in Sofon. Sofon is set to launch its mainnet and token next month. Meanwhile, Athena's S2, listed as S capital ENA, claimant for this token has begun, and the proposal for the Ethereal DEX was passed, allowing SENA holders to earn additional points for Ethereal tokens. That sounds like a bunch of confusion to me. OM News, Mantra has released a proposal to update OM's tokenomics for the upcoming move to Mantra Chain mainnet. The proposal includes disclosure of VC's long vesting and cliff structure, simplification of inflation rates, and additional reward for stakeholders. Some good news for OM. Phantom Sonic Labs unveils a deflationary mechanism to airdrop 200 million Sonic tokens. S will be the ticker. Users will receive 25% of their S tokens immediately on the airdrop claim date. The remaining 75% has a vesting schedule of 9 months and can be claimed earlier, but some of the token will be burned. Interesting. Axelar has announced the launch of Mobius Development Stack, MDS, a decentralized application interoperability platform from Axelar. They don't know October is here. Q4 is very bullish. And that's the news today from Layer GG. Shout out to Layer GG, man. He's been on vacation for a while and we have not done the news, and I'm happy to bring that back because it's just a great place for sources of what's going on in crypto and some things that's hard to track down sometimes at the moment's notice. Some good things going on in Aave, Aptos, Arkham. I'm not so big in the ENA, but OEM, I'm in Phantom. I'm in all of those. And in XLR, I'm in the majority of these. So I was glad to see they got some good news going for them. Well, let's go ahead and get back to the charts.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you.
Is this that same playlist? Are we listening to the same music? We gotta mix it up, babies. Let's put some ballpoint on. Woo, baby. This show has went on. We are an hour and 20 minutes in. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it happens. Let's take a look at Tau. That's one of my babies right there. Trying to build a new bag of that because I lost some of it during that drop, and it's been slow going. It's been going pretty good with Near. I need to look at Near too. So Towie, let me get this M shape off of there because she had a possible M shaped top. It confirmed and didn't quite come down as far as what it would before she decided to go back to the upside. And I'm not disappointed at all. I like you, Tau. Although I was hoping to maybe buy you about somewhere closer to $400. But okay. But that's a good sign. I am wondering if she's trying to do something parabolic. I'm seeing a few signs, but not seeing the big signs I need to see. Oh, well, yeah, here's a start. So for Tau, can we take into account this? I don't like that wick. This is Binance. I wish I had more history here. So if we're looking from where we've been, basically we were in a channel, or if you wanted to view it as a opening broadening wedge, that is fine too. They're all very fine. They will both work in a heartbeat. Either or, we still get about the same results regardless. It's like we met her measure move for that. Nice. Okay, well, and then of course she got her pullback from that area. So now what are we doing? That wasn't the enormous pullback. We didn't come back and retest this area by any means. We might still at some point. You always have to keep that in your mind. There's a certain percentage that you can come back and retest these areas. And right now we seem to be testing these over here. That's cool, finding support for these guys. I'm having a hard time pulling a fib because I just don't have enough information here. See if we can get a different, yeah, now we're talking. Here we go. Now we got a full chart. We're ready. And more information makes more sense. So we're looking at the channel ideas, and you also look at it as an inverted head and shoulder. Made a very nice inverted head and shoulders. You usually see... I gotta talk about it. You don't say it, Road Dog. You gotta talk about it. What I see on YouTube is a lot of people with pattern traders, and because I come from the Bukowski school of thought, I guess, maybe I got a little bit of a different take, but I see a lot of, this is a reversal pattern. You find them at bottoms because it's a reversal pattern. Thomas Bukowski says, for a reversal pattern, you got to have something to reverse to. That means that, price has got to lead into it. And the inverted head and shoulder, you got a nice top defined level of resistance. The price eventually squeezes, it goes. There's a story to be told in price action for all these patterns, and it just tries to simplify it. And what it means is that you made a lower low, and then you made your higher low, and hopefully this higher low here will be higher than this one over here. That's one of the key things to look for a really good inverted head and shoulders, is a higher right shoulder than what we had over here. You don't always get that, but when you do, you get a better performing one. And I don't think that's talked about very often. But you find them at bottoms, and usually you'll have some kind of a channel coming around, like what we're looking at, right? You got one of these patterns. Well, and then we got to start leveling out, and that's what happens. And they usually form one channels. They can form inside it and outside it both. This one formed more outside than inside. This is part of the turnaround, and then this becomes accumulation, and then we pop up. But maybe it's just me, but I see this a lot. And price would be at a top here, and you got something going on, and then you got something, and somebody saw, look, we got an inverted head and shoulder to the upside. And I'm like, I know you can see that. You might see that in your head, but you should not apply that logic there. There's a bigger pattern to that, and you need to apply that. So, and it's kind of hard to correct somebody on that, because they'll come back and say, well, look, see, the measurement is head and shoulder, and you got all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of almost a losing battle. But for real, a lot of times when you see that, it may not work out for you. Just going to throw that. And I've seen this done a lot too. I've seen price come down, and we're on a bottom. And then we got something going on, and I swear you will have something like this, and we got a head and shoulders to the downside, and I'm like, say it, do it. That just makes me want to jump in right now. Makes me want to jump, because more often than not, you will see this reverse right back up. Maybe they'll come down a little bit, but they're going to turn right around. It's not, oh no, it's not like a bear flag or anything like that. Because one thing, this is not in its place. Another thing, you've got a different animal going on when you got that. Now, head and shoulders, you can actually look at it if you zoom out. You've got one of these two ways to look at any kind of head and shoulders: as some kind of megaphone pattern, or as, I'm serious, you can triangle them out, or as some kind of ascending or descending kind of pattern. And so when I'm pattern trading, I zoom out and go by the big pattern. And I don't see that happen enough. I mean, maybe sometimes, but you kind of forget. They kind of forget, oh, there's a measure move that will take us up to. I did it from the anyway, we'll get to that later. But, I see a lot of people, then they start getting in on the smaller time frames, chasing flags to figure out where it's going. And I'm like, well, the pattern told you got a good chance to come here. Why don't we just bank on that? But I guess people interpret all this different kinds of ways. I mean, everybody does interpret things differently, but nothing wrong with it. But those are just some of the things that I see that Thomas Bukowski, really made clear for me and helped me figure out that I wasn't getting that information anywhere else. How many times do you see people, you got price going up, and then she starts doing her little thing, and she's making a flag. I need to do this better to illustrate my point. But you got something going on, and we'll look at this. Oh, look, it's a bull flag. We're going to the upside, and it's the first instincts. Like, man, the first thing some people do is just, there's a flag, looking for a flag, and I'm like, okay. Well, how can you explain this trend line that got broken then? How do you know that's a flag and that's just not a double top coming to the down? I mean, the trend line will help you figure that out, and I don't see that talked about enough. It's like, as long as it looks like a flag, it's to the upside. Well, we get here by next week. So you see all kinds of stuff. I just don't. I don't know how to explain what their thought processes are, because I don't think they explain their thought process. Sometimes it's just a flag to the upside. As soon as you touch the 21, that's on the upside. Maybe. But there's a little bit more that you could look for. Like for this little guy, look at this. We just still going by the previous thing that we were looking at, just extend it out and find that that's a support resistance area. Well, shoot. I bet that angle might be respected for something. Look, it's part of a channel. Maybe not perfect. Might be able to finagle some better angles out. Oh well, just my thoughts. Anyway, we got that. There's a good chance that we will come back at some point. These things have like a 64% chance to come back and retest the breakout. So even though Tau is up here at 574, and maybe it won't be this week, maybe it won't be this month, but there's a good chance that she'll come back just to say hello to 376 and 378 again. I'm just write it down. Just write it down, and we'll test it and see. 64% chance she'll come back to this area. Nobody talks about that either. Bukowski does. That's good information to know. Because if you know you got a good chance to come back, you can, not go as crazy with what your ideas are trying to do up here. So Tau, if we zoom out and go back, it can tell us where the resistance areas are going to be. And I want to look at that. Well, let me put you up here. How do you line up? It did something kind of weird over here, so I want to see how my fibs line up. I think I like it just fine where we had. So if she starts getting a little bit more rambunctious like she is right now, we're starting to look at these next two targets. And because there can be a retest back to this area, I'm not as gung-ho to think that she's going to be coming up to $1,000 real soon. She's likely to start finding around and over here. That was a big come up here. There is nothing in there, man. I mean, there's all this new talk and new jargon coming out, and we got inefficiency candles and this and that, and basically price ran up too quick, and there's a lot of gaps there, or a lot of it needs to be fleshed out. There's not enough movement in there, and they'll come back and move that price around there. They want to fill it up with stuff like this. Okay, this probably will not last, so we got to keep that in mind. But right now, she's looking good, right? So I don't want to take nothing away from that. I want to see some bigger targets. In fact, you're showing some bullish divergence here on that move. So, well, I'm going to put you up there then. We'll just put a little bonus target up here at 836, but I don't think that one's going to get hit. But then again, we don't know what this market's going to look like this month, do we? So 630 looks like a good take profit place, and 688 definitely should be an area that she should get some rejection and at least pull back. So I'm expecting Tau to go up to one of these two places and then probably come back and touch 531, or this area, not necessarily the exact price. And then maybe, if she's still bullish, still got her bullish thing going on, maybe come up here. She's not going to be able to sustain her trajectory for too long. We'll pull out their new trend line there, and we'll get rid of these fibs and take a look at her. I am big on angles and Gann theory, and that leads to that. So I'm always looking for a channel idea. I'm not sold on this one just yet, so we may not have her final angle in. But right now we got a trend line that will help us know when to get the hell out. If we break the trend line, there's probably something worse coming, and that will help you. And put your stop losses below the trend line. It's a great way to just kind of raise your stop losses. You just raise it up wherever that candle is below that trend line, give it a little space, and just, you know, trail your stops that way. That's one thing that you can do with the trend line. It's helpful. Joe says, Road Dog has the best free crew. Recommend everyone to join, learn, and ask questions. Yeah, I'm just waiting for questions over there. I might not be immediately the fastest one to answer you, but I mean, if I get used to questions, then I'm more apt to be over there. Patrick Bateman says, just curious, you trade any other assets? I've got some stocks. Let's see, what else? That's all I can think of. Yeah, just some stock, and it's mostly crypto related stocks. I've got Tesla, which is, well, I mean, AI related, I guess. I got Tesla. That one's been really good to me. But the one that's really been the best to me has been this one. MicroStrategies. That little guy. If I didn't have to sell, so I had to sell 20, how many was it? I had to sell like 20 something shares of that, 27 shares of that to pay some state taxes that I wasn't expecting. And I had to sell a lot of that on the cheap. And now it went up, and not only that, but they also did a 10-to-1 stock split. I could have 270 of those suckers if I, hadn't been in that situation to have to sell in April to pay taxes. Tax man. 1 for you, 19 for me. Tell you how it's gonna be. I'm the tax man. Yeah. Tesla Micro, and I've got which was it? Clean Spark. I got some Clean Spark. So, but these I've got limit orders set. I spend so much time. A lot of times I get so wrapped up in crypto, I don't even pay attention to those. So they just kind of sit over there. And I've had them for a while, but I've got my limit order set now, just sitting there waiting to take some profits in some of those at certain levels whenever they get hit. But I'm mostly into crypto. Sean, you're embarrassing us. I know it, Sean, isn't it? I don't mean to talk bad about him, but why not? Everybody else does. Shoot. Why don't you let everybody else have the fun? Sean, you suck. Twitter.com, Tectum Social Stats. I don't know what that is. Well, guys, it is 11:39, and I am well beyond. We did. I feel like I just jabbered. I hope you guys got some value out of it, because we really haven't went over that many coins. There's one that was been going crazy. XE, I had some of this. This Chia Network, and I don't remember it. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Yeah, I must be. Okay, I'm thinking of a different. I play this though, but what did she do? Or maybe I'm not. It looks horrible. Chia Network. It looks absolutely horrible. But look what happened. This thing goes. Well, this is okay. We gotta check it somewhere else. We get crazy wicks like that. It just makes me like, for real. Oh hell. Here it is on KuCoin. That started here in August 21. Okay, so we got information. This coin came out at $300 on this chart, and we're down at 15. She's had a good day or two, so I guess that's what I'm saying. I've been seeing it pop off the charts. I saw the price, and I thought this one was a lot cheaper than this. Apparently, I'm thinking about a different coin. Oh, she broke some levels here. Oh, Chia Network. I don't know about this one. That, I mean, if you're a risk taker, maybe. I just noticed that she's pumping today. This is a opening broadening wedge, 60% chance for a breakout to the upside. For 60% to break out. The scary thing is that they could be a continuation pattern, so we got to consider that. Don't want that trend line to break, but they could be fun. I don't know. It doesn't look anything like I would be interested in, since all this. Maybe she could do good. But I guess I'm on the weekly. On the short term, this is what everybody, I guess, this is why it's popping up on my screeners. Because she went from $12 to 16, so she had a good come up. I would say she probably needs a good day after losing from 300 down to 13. Jesus. All right. So she popped math. This is not. She just had a good day. That's all. Nothing to find here. Nothing to see here. Did we go over PopCat? Yeah, I think we did. We did over PopCat. We went over Miro was looking interesting. She might be coming off her bot and see. Now that's a deviation right here. You see that? I mean, I know it's like a 786 or maybe an 886 retracement, but still. Coming off of this flat thing here. This local pattern, if you're just looking at this section, this pattern has a supposedly a 55% chance to break through the upside. That's what we played on the Bitcoin thing. That's the exact pattern that I was playing over here in the setups. This is how it worked. We were playing it over here, and it's like 55% chance to break to the upside. And I think it got a little wick. There was something on one version of it, on one smaller time frame or something, where, or maybe. Oh, this was it. Maybe this was before it. Yeah, this was it where it broke to the upside, I guess. But this is what we started out with, and then where did it go? Oh man, maybe am I tripping? Oh, I'm in student charts. We put the, yeah, and this is what it ended up doing. And oh no, was it the 6 minute here? But we were. I mean, it was this the what we were just looking at. I believe it was right down here at this area, right behind my head. If I don't know, I can't remember. Jesus, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. It started with that pattern, and it finally started doing what it needed to do. But it technically never did actually break out. It just kind of kept going along that trend line. And you know, that can happen here too. That trend line's kind of steep, so. But it can be fun to play these patterns, these megaphone patterns. But that's not making a higher high, so I'm looking for 8.5 cents out of Miro. Crypto Cash says that's great news for TET. Let's take a look at Tectum here. Oh, look at you. Oh, you made a higher high. You ready to rumble? I'm on the 4 hour. I haven't even zoomed out yet, but I like what I see. Respecting the trend line, can't complain about the, ooh, look at that. Let's zoom out and get the real story. Don't know what's going on over here, but this looks like a nice little double bottom scenario, and this definitely looks like a butt crack. And are you facing forward or backward? Oh, you ain't got no drawers on. This is a family show. You got to cover that up. He's an expositionist trying to show. Don't look, Ethel. It's bigger than mine. Swing high to swing low, and this is where you guys. This is one of my. It's so simple, so simple. Fibonacci high to low. This 236 Fibonacci, that's your best friend for figuring out where's the best places to buy these things. This is kind of the bigger scale here. You can tune the sucker in on every one of these guys and tweak her down. But anything under here, you're going to look back 6 months now and say, that was the best place to buy. I should have bought when it was down here. This is an area that's critical. She's got to get above it. A lot of times you'll see this will be a support resistance flip for that particular Fibonacci line when you take it from swing high to swing low. Helps you find a little accumulation zone or discount zone, as I call it. And you can even tweak it more on the smaller ones. When you're down in the nitty gritty coming here, yeah, you could really tweak that little guy. That little fib guy will help you get into some make sure you get some very good entries if you use it. Anyway, getting back to where we were before. Cover up your dingle dangle. Tectum is exposing itself over here. I'm just going to shoot you off to the left there. Yeah, there we go. I'll have to look at your dingle dangle. So $14.24, $14.24. That's where we're going to go. But once we get there, then what? We got to start looking at the dingle dangle area. This is where we got most congestion. So kind of suggest we might have a chance to come quickly to 24. Every one of these fibs will be an area. If you look over here, look, congestion right there. We pull from high to low, and after the fact, these areas show, in retrospect, support resistance areas. It's amazing how that works. It's like it's built into the programming. I don't like it's built into the seed code. I don't know. Can't explain exactly the mystery of the sacred geometry and all that good stuff of how they work, but it sure is fun to play with, and they sure do blow my mind every time I use them. These guys are good. 36 and 29 future targets. So Tectum looks like it can make a nice comeback. Look how she runs, how she did over here. A little lackluster once she got past this area here. There's a different fib there, but still, if she gets past that area again, might still have a similar play. She can make some gains when she gets going, right? What was that? That was December 26th through January 10th. So you had maybe about 10 days there. For 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, she got up there. And made 345% gains. Can't she go from here? 135, 181% gains? Possibly. I like what she's reflecting this trend line. It's too far on the trend line strategy to be entering in my personal opinion. She might be likely to face some rejection here at the 200 moving average on the daily. Let's come to the 4 hour and see what it says. 4 hours says she wants to go for 1425. What the hell? It looks like she wants to try to do it. Well, you made your higher high. Keep on going, baby. Because you're going to have to make a higher low. Hopefully it'll be around this trend line. Or somewhere. Or maybe you'll just break out. Who knows? It could be. Might be an interesting weekend for crypto. You got some resistance in this area. Needs to pop out of that. Oh, the link I said. Okay, I'll check that out. Sean is he is special. He has a helmet. With Viking horns and the Tennessee Balls symbol on it. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, see how she's doing here. I'm going to check her out on the tiny time frame of the 6 minute. This is what I usually keep up on my screen all the time. I zoom out. That's the important thing. You can zoom out when I make a plan, but when I'm watching it play out, you can get so bored with Bitcoin sometimes. You just got to see what's going on. And it's interesting to see. She's trying to find some support here. On the smaller time frames, looks like we've got it's noisy as all get out here, but we've got a little bit of some kind of trend line. It'll be clear on the bigger time frame. I'm just going to park it right there. Looks like we're kind of still edging up towards 63,000. I think we might be able to do that, but we may go sideways. If Bitcoin goes sideways this weekend, like we know it to do a lot on the weekends, it will give altcoins a chance to start doing better. Here we are, total 3. Probably a good idea to look at this one. She's finding some. Oh crap! Am I going to have to change my thumbnail? You're getting rejected. She's getting rejected at the bottom of this trend line right here, meaning that she might be a bearish retest, or she might just be faking us out. She did bounce off this 200 moving average. So now we're in a conundrum, exactly where they like to put us. Exactly where they like to put us. I'm going to say this on the 4 hour. You have the 200 moving average. Way up here you have the 100. Above it, closing in a little bit, is the 50. Basically our momentum is still up and to the right. I don't know if she will have enough to break into this trend line and give us a fantastic run on the weekend. It's starting to look like maybe today and tomorrow we might get a little pullback with altcoins, but then maybe we'll start working on something here. So we're hoping that if Bitcoin goes sideways, and if we can get Bitcoin dominance coming down, what she's trying to do, altcoins can run or have a nice little run. So that's what we're hoping for. See if we can get some Bitcoin dominance to come. We want to see some altcoin movement this weekend. And hopefully we'll get some of that. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. See you again tomorrow night. Sean? Wake up, Sean. Push the button. I swear I'm going to have to find me a new producer. Fire dog.
You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie.
Good night, everybody. God bless you. Good night, John boy.